We're going to Florida. Jason, you're up.
Hey, Super French, how are you?
I'm doing good, and you?
I'm doing great. Speaking of energy, I love your energy. Absolutely contagious.
Thank you.
Mine is a kind of two-part, little less serious questions. One, are there other extreme sports? You mentioned Chuck, so it was great lead in RHO there. Do you ever look at another extreme sport? Clearly, fear, you mentioned, is one of your strengths, overcoming, managing that. And you're like, no way in heck. Like, I look at that guy like, that's insane. One. And my other backup is, are there leisure activities like normal people like me do, that golf and other things? Obviously, you probably don't have time with being a dad and doing these crazy other things, but are there leisure things that you actually do, or is it just too boring for you because there's no fear involved in those sports?
So if I was chasing fear, I would be chasing the rush. Chasing the rush would make me an adrenaline junkie, which I absolutely despise, So because it's a junkie ride, you're just chasing a thrill. For me, I'm chasing fulfillment, purpose, meaning, through actions. I don't jump to jump. I jump with a goal in mind, a purpose in mind. I'm obsessive. I let my objectives turn to obsession to be able to reach them. But therefore, when I come home, I also need to reboot. Home is a base camp. And this is when you need to eat well. I love cooking. I bake my own bread as a Frenchman, surprising. I do love to read. I don't read enough, but I try to read as much as possible. I'm slowly working on a book. So I try to develop that lexical field, because I think it doesn't all have to be super gnarly stuff all the time, because obviously that's also a recipe to eventually burn out. And the greatest pressure we experience is the pressure we put on ourselves. Yet, this said, to enjoy the everyday life there's a time of adjustment when I come back. I used to think there was a problem with me because I would go and experience my life apogees, in the mountains. And in many ways, it's base jumping, skiing off gnarly mountains, things like that, just doesn't give a chance to everyday life at first. And I used to think that, there was maybe an internal problem with me, that I would experience kind of like that blue Monday after big projects, things like that. But it's normal. You have to come down after a big high. And again, this is not why I chase the high. I don't care about the high, but it is a byproduct and it's part of it, and it must be managed and acknowledged, right? I think that's why in the 90s, a lot of pro surfers, there was a huge drug wave through the pro surfing community. Guys would be on tour, and then when they went surfing, they were all cracked out on the beach, freaking high in ecstasy and stuff. Guys like Marco Chilupo was a great example of that, and a bunch of other guys. And so you have to learn to manage that Blue Monday, digest, reboot. And so when I'm home, I just I live a pretty monotonous life. I wake up, take care of my kid, train, do a cold plunge, go skiing, do my emails, work on the book, and that's kind of what I do. The things I set goals for myself when I come home that might not have anything directly to do with action stuff, but that helps shape the mind for it. Is that
super helpful? No, really appreciate it. No, thank you so much.
No, it's funny, guys. I never had to word it this way, so that was a challenging question. Thank you, because I had to make nerve connections and mind connections as I was answering. Thank you.